There's a saying that's easy to say but hard to live by. If a man truly loves you, you'll never have to ask. Because real love doesn't need to prove itself with empty words. It leaves a trail of unmistakable signs. First, he respects you. I'm not talking about surface-level manners, I'm talking about deep soul-level respect, the kind that makes him pause before he speaks, the kind that makes him choose your comfort over his convenience. He doesn't force you to change who you are to fit his world, he expands his world to make room for you. Second, he believes in your fire. Even when you don't… when you have a dream that seems crazy, he doesn't laugh, he leans in. He reminds you who you are on the days you forget. His love doesn't shrink your light, it fuels it. He celebrates your wins like they're his own, and your failures, he stands taller beside you, not farther. Third, he listens, not just with his ears but with his whole presence. He notices your sighs, the way your voice changes, the things you avoid saying. When you say, "I'm fine," he knows better and he stays. Love like this doesn't hide behind logic or distractions, it leans into emotion, even when it's messy, especially when it's messy. Fourth, he shows up, not once, not twice, but consistently, because love is not in the first text, the flowers or the promises. It's in the everyday moments when life gets hard and you're not your best. It's in the patience, in the showing up, even when it's inconvenient. Real love is persistent, it keeps showing up, rain or shine. Fifth hand, most powerful, he protects your heart, not just from others but from himself. He's aware that he has the power to hurt you and he chooses not to. Over and over again, he watches his tone, he thinks before he acts. He guards your emotions like treasure. Because when a man truly loves you, he sees your heart as sacred. So remember, love isn't hidden in games, it's not in the chase, it's not in the drama, it's in the peace, in the presence, in the protection. And if you find a man who loves like that, don't just hold on-growth together, because that kind of love, it's not ordinary, it's a gift, and you deserve nothing less. Sign one, he respects your boundaries even when it's inconvenient for him. Respect is the foundation of all real love. When a man truly loves you, respect isn't optional, it's automatic. But this respect isn't about opening doors or saying please and thank you, this is deeper. It's about understanding and honoring your emotional, mental, physical and personal boundaries, especially when it's hard or inconvenient for him. Anyone can be respectful when it's easy, when the conversation is light, when both of you agree. But the test of love doesn't happen in peace, it shows itself in conflict. And if a man truly loves you, he doesn't raise his voice to overpower yours, he doesn't mock your emotions, dismiss your values or try to reshape your beliefs to match his. He sees you as an equal, not someone to control but someone to grow with. Loving someone isn't about agreement at all times, it's about respect even in disagreement. A man who loves you won't guilt you for needing space, he won't label you as too sensitive for having boundaries. He won't cross the lines you've clearly drawn, even when his emotions are high. Instead, he takes a step back and asks, what does she need right now? And he honors that answer. Real love is about awareness. A man in love pays attention to how his actions affect your heart. He notices when his jokes land the wrong way. He catches himself when he's reacting instead of responding. He doesn't always get it perfect, but he cares enough to try again. That's the difference between someone who loves the idea of you versus someone who's committed to knowing you. This kind of man understands that your no is a full sentence. He respects when you don't feel ready, when you need to take time, when you want to move slower than he does. And instead of pushing, he protects that space for you because he knows love isn't rushed, it's nurtured. And it's not just about The big things like intimacy, future plans or career decisions, it shows up in the little things too. When he lets you vent without trying to fix you, when he doesn't take it personally if you need alone time, when he supports your friendships, even the ones that don't involve him. A man who respects your boundaries doesn't compete with your independence, he celebrates it. What's even more powerful is when this man chooses to respect your boundaries without you needing to constantly explain them. That means he listens the first time, he remembers, he adjusts, not because he has tobut, because he wants to. That's what love looks like when it's mature, when it's secure, when it's real. If you ever find yourself second-guessing your values, feeling like you have to shrink yourself to keep him, or apologizing just for being who you are, that's not love. That's emotional compromise. Real love, healthy love, elevates you. It says, you don't have to change to be worthy. I love you as you are, and I'll protect what matters to you. So, if he listens, when you say no, honors your emotional needs, respects your time and chooses you without trying to own you, congratulations. You're not just loved, you're respected. And that's the most powerful kind of love there is. Sign 2, he supports your dreams with the same intensity he chases his own. When a man truly loves you, your dreams aren't a distraction, they become part of his vision. He doesn't just nod politely when you talk about your goals. He listens with the same fire in his eyes that he has for his own ambitions. Because he knows that loving someone isn't just about companionship, it's about partnership. You'll feel it in how he responds when you tell him about something you want to build, create or become. There's no jealousy, no jokes about how unrealistic your dreams sound, no comments like, that's too much, or why don't you just play it safe? Instead, he says things like, how can I help? Or what's the first step you're going to take? He challenges you, not to break you, but to bring out the strongest, boldest version of you. A man in love doesn't see your success as a threat to his masculinity. He doesn't need you to dim your light so his can shine brighter. In fact, when your light grows, his pride grows with it. He becomes the quiet force in the background, rooting for you even when no one else believes. And when the world doubts you, he doesn't. When you doubt yourself, he reminds you who you are. This kind of support isn't always loud or flashy. Sometimes it's in the late-night coffee he brings you when you're grinding, the books he buys you, the way he clears time for you to work, the way he celebrates your smallest wins like they're major victories. Because he sees the effort behind every step and he wants you to win not just for the relationship but for you. He also knows how to get out of the way when you need to lead. A man who loves you doesn't need to be the hero of every story. He doesn't hijack your moment or turn your dreams into a comparison contest. He trusts your process, he respects your pace, and even if he doesn't fully understand your vision, he'll stand beside you until he does. What's even more beautiful, he grows with you. Your ambition doesn't scare him, it inspires him. Being with you doesn't make him complacent, it makes him want to level up too. You become a team. You both have your own mountains to climb, but somehow you never feel like you're climbing alone. And it's not always sunshine. There are times when you'll feel overwhelmed, when you'll want to quit, when the weight of your dream feels heavier than your energy. And that's when his love shows its strength the most. He won't let you settle, he'll remind you why you started, he'll be that steady hand on your back saying, keep going, you've got this. Because real love doesn't just admire your ambition, it fuels it. He's not just your boyfriend, husband or partner, he's your believer. He sees the gold in you even when all you see is dirt. And he stays, not because it's easy, but because he knows your journey matters. So, if the man in your life speaks life into your dreams, if he invests time and effort into your goals, if he pushes you gently forward, even when you're scared, that's not just love, that's alignment, that's destiny. That's someone who doesn't just want to share your heart but your future. And that is rare. Sign 3, he listens not just to your words, but to your silence, your moods and your unspoken worries. There's a kind of love that hears you even when you don't speak, that sees through your smile and senses the weight behind your quiet. When a man truly loves you, he doesn't just listen to your words, he listens to you. Anyone can hear you talk, but it takes intention, presence and emotional intelligence to really listen. A man in love doesn't just wait for his turn to speak, leans in. He picks up on the subtle shifts in your tone. He remembers what matters to you even when you only said it once. He notices the pause in your stories, the hesitation in your answers, the look in your eyes when something's wrong but you're too tired to explain it. This is not the kind of listening that comes from obligation. This is the kind that comes from care, from curiosity, from a deep desire to understand you, not just the surface version of you, but the inner you, the complicated, raw, sometimes messy you, and instead of judging or fixing, he just holds space. When you say, "I'm okay," but your energy says otherwise, he doesn't brush it off, he doesn't get defensive or impatient. He asks again gently, or maybe he doesn't ask at all. Maybe he just sits next to you in silence, offering his presence without pressure, because sometimes the most loving thing someone can do is just be there. Real listening is an act of emotional generosity. It means tuning in. Even when life is noisy, it means remembering the little things that matter to you, not because they matter to him, but because you matter to him. It shows up in the way he brings home your favorite snack after a hard week, or how he notices that you've been withdrawing and checks in, not to accuse, but to understand. A man who listens like this doesn't need you to spell everything out. He doesn't see emotions as weaknesses or inconveniences or inconveniences. He sees them as a language and is willing to learn that language if it helps him love you better. He also listens during conflict. That's a big one. He doesn't just listen to respond, he listens to understand. When you're upset, he doesn't cut you off or turn it into a debate. Debates you speak. He takes in your perspective. Even when he disagrees, he honors the feeling behind your words. Because love isn't about being right, it's about being connected. And sometimes the most telling sign of love is when he listens without trying to solve everything. When he resists the urge to fix your pain and instead just says, "That sounds really hard. I'm here." No advice, no judgment, just presence. In those moments, he's not just your partner, he's your anchor. Because listening, real listening, is how love breathes, it's how it deepens. It's how trust is built, not in grand declarations, but in those quiet moments where you feel truly seen. So if he notices when you're off, if he listens when you ramble, if he remembers the things that make you smile or cry, if he checks in without being asked, that's more than love. That's emotional safety. That's a man who isn't just in love with your voice, but with the soul behind it. And in a world full of noise, that kind of listening, that's everything. Sign 4, he stays consistent. Love doesn't come in waves only when it's easy, it shows up every single day. Especially in storms, true love doesn't shout for attention on sunny days and vanish when the clouds roll in. When a man truly loves you, his love isn't conditional on your mood, your makeup. How convenient life feels. It doesn't come and go with circumstances. It's consistent. Consistency is the quiet force of love. It's not flashy, it's not loud, but it's reliable, stable and unwavering. When a man truly loves you, you don't wonder where you stand with him. You don't have to chase reassurance or decode his actions. You know because he shows you daily. He doesn't just say, "I love you" on anniversaries. He shows up with the same energy on ordinary Tuesdays. He doesn't check out emotionally just because he's tired or busy. Even in the chaos of life, he finds ways to make you feel valued. Whether it's a text that says they're thinking of you, a hand on your back when you're anxious, or just asking how your day was and actually listening, he keeps showing up. A man like this doesn't just love the idea of you when it's fun. He loves all of you even when you're tired, frustrated, insecure or growing in ways that make you hard to understand. He stays present, not perfectly, but consistently. And here's the truth, Consistency requires emotional maturity. It means he's doing the inner work. He's not led only by impulse or mood, he's intentional with his words. He doesn't give affection today and coldness tomorrow. He doesn't ghost you emotionally only to reappear with excuses. When he says he's in, he means it. During hard times, his consistency becomes your safety net. When you fall apart, he doesn't run, he reaches. When things feel heavy, he doesn't disappear, he gets closer. When life hits with its inevitable storms, financial stress, family issues, mental health dips, he doesn't use them as an exit. He becomes part of your solution, not another problem to manage. This doesn't mean he never struggles. But even in his bad moments, he still considers your heart. He still tries. He communicates. He might stumble, but he doesn't quit. Because to him, love is not a feeling, it's a commitment. You'll know it by how he handles your vulnerability. Does he take it seriously? Does he protect your soft spots instead of poking at them? A consistent man doesn't weaponize your emotions. He doesn't hold your mistakes over your head. He doesn't love you more when you're at your best and less when you're not. He's in it for you, not the version of you that makes life easy. And over time, that consistency builds trust, real trust, the kind where you can exhale in his presence, where you don't have to keep looking over your shoulder, wondering when the affection will stop or the support will fade, because he's not building a moment. He's building a home. So, if he calls when he says he will, if he keeps his promises, if he doesn't flinch when life tests you, if he's still standing beside you when your world is wobbling, understand this, you're not just lucky, you're loved with intention. And intention is the difference between temporary affection and lasting devotion. That kind of love, it's rare and it's worth everything. Sign 5, he protects you, not just physically, but emotionally, socially and spiritually. Protection in love is often misunderstood. Many think it only means standing in front of danger or being a physical shield in a threatening situation. But when a man truly loves you, protection goes far deeper. It's not just about guarding your body, it's about guarding your peace. This kind of man doesn't wait for dramatic moments to show his love. He protects you in everyday life, from subtle disrespect, from emotional exhaustion, from environments and energies that threaten your self-worth. He becomes a space where you feel safe to be fully yourself, unfiltered, raw and real. Let's start with emotional protection. A man in love doesn't play mind games, he doesn't gaslight you or leave you confused. He doesn't make you feel like you're too emotional for having feelings. Instead, he creates a safe space for your emotions to land. When you're sad, he holds you. When you're angry, he doesn't shut down, he listens. When you're unsure, he doesn't mock you, he reassures you. He knows your past may come with scars. Maybe you've been betrayed, maybe you've been lied to, used, overlooked. But instead of using that pain against you, he honors it. He becomes a healing space, not a triggering one. He protects your vulnerability like it's sacred, because to him it is, and socially. Pay attention, he doesn't let people speak down to you. He doesn't laugh when someone disrespects you in a group. He doesn't ignore moments when you're clearly uncomfortable. He steps in, not to cause drama, but to set boundaries. He makes it clear, with his energy in his words, that you're valued. You never feel like you have to fight alone when he's around. Whether it's a toxic friend, a jealous relative, or a stressful social situation, he doesn't leave you exposed. He notices. And when you tell him something bothers you, he doesn't make you feel stupid for it. He listens, he validates, and if he can fix it, he will. But perhaps most beautiful is the spiritual protection. That doesn't mean he has to be religious, but he believes in something greater than himself and he honors the divine in you. He encourages you to grow, not just in goals, but in soul. He prays for you when you're tired. He speaks life into you when you're broken. He uplifts your spirit even when he can't solve your problems. This is a man who won't let you forget your worth, who reminds you that you are enough, who helps you see the strength in yourself when all you feel is weakness. He doesn't just protect your life, he protects your light. He's gentle with your insecurities, he doesn't use them against you in moments of anger. He protects the things you told him in confidence. Your secrets are safe with him, your flaws are safe with him. He knows where your cracks are, but instead of shaming them, he shields them. So many people are lovely but hurt quietly. If your man defends you behind closed doors, speaks well of you when you're not around, checks your mental health as often as he checks his phone, and makes sure your soul feels safe. Sacred. And if you found that kind of love, hold it, water it, water it. And never forget that love is not just something we feel, it's something we protect. Because when a man truly loves you, you'll never feel like you have to protect yourself from him. So now you've seen it, not through fantasy, not through empty fairy tales, but through real science, real love. Because when a man truly loves you, you won't have to guess, you won't have to chase, you won't have to beg for the bare minimum and call it enough. You'll see it in the way he prioritizes you when it's inconvenient. You'll feel it in how he supports your dreams like they're his own. You'll hear in the way he listens, even to what you're too afraid to say. You'll trust it through his consistency, especially when life isn't pretty. And you'll breathe easier under the protection he offers, not through force but through love. Let me tell you something that the world doesn't say enough. You are not hard to love, you are not too much, you are not asking for too many things, you are asking for the right thing, the things your soul deserves. And if you've been through heartbreak, betrayal or years of emotional silence, I want to remind you, that wasn't love, that was survival. And survival is not the same as being seen, heard, respected and loved completely. Real love doesn't shrink you, it expands you. It doesn't drain your spirit, it fuels your fire. It doesn't whisper doubt into your dreams, it builds them with you. You deserve a love that doesn't leave you doubting your worth every night.